Dentro, ¿quién remata? ¡Cristiano!
Welcome to channel The Golden Goal. We will bring you the fastest, latest news about the day of the ball world. Take the subscribe and press the bell button to see the next videos.
Kepa Arrizabalaga, Chelsea goalkeeper fined and apologises for Wembley incident. Chelsea goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga has been fined a week's wages and apologised for refusing to be substituted during Sunday's Carabao Cup final defeat by Manchester City. The Spaniard refused to be replaced by Willy Caballero at Wembley. Although there was a misunderstanding, on reflection, I made a big mistake with how I handled the situation, Kepa said in a Chelsea statement. Manager Maurizio Sarri said he and Kepa had since had a good conversation. Sarri, who reacted angrily when Kepa refused to leave the field towards the end of extra time, also said the incident had been a misunderstanding. But he added, Kepa realizes he made a big mistake in the way he reacted. He has apologized to me, his teammates and the club. It is up to the club if they want to discipline him according to the club rules. But for me this matter is now closed. Kepa, the club's record £71 million signing, defied Sarri's attempt to substitute him for Caballero before Manchester City won on penalties. The Italian appeared furious and walked down the tunnel before quickly returning. The 24-year-old former Athletic Bilbao player said, I wanted to take the time today to apologise fully and in person to the coach, to Willy, my teammates and to the club. Europaper talk, astonishing Harry Kane swap deal agreed. Tottenham striker Harry Kane will complete an eyebrow-raising summer transfer, while Arsenal are closing in on a big-name coup, according to Monday's European papers. Man City win race for Harry Kane with incredible proposal. Harry Kane will move to Manchester City this summer after Tottenham were ready to accept an astonishing offer of £86 million plus Gabriel Jesus for the prolific frontman, according to reports. The talismanic Tottenham striker, linked with moves to some of the world's biggest clubs including Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Manchester United, is poised to make the shock move north this summer to City, according to Diario Gol. They claim Pep Guardiola's side will win the race to sign the prolific frontman as a long-term replacement for Sergio Aguero by offering Tottenham an enormous cash injection as well as an immediate replacement in Gabriel Jesus. The Spanish outlet claimed Tottenham value Kane at €200 million and will accept City's offer of Jesus, valued at €100 million, plus a further cash offer of €100 million, £86 million. Kane has done little to indicate he wants to leave Tottenham anytime soon, but the paper claims he will be tempted by the chance of winning trophies at City and for the chance to play under Pep Guardiola, while the transfer will also further his quest to beat Alan Shearer's record as the Premier League's highest ever goal scorer. And the Inter Milan hope to persuade Mauro Icardi, a target for Man United, Chelsea and Real Madrid, to sign a new contract by reducing his exit clause from €110 million to €80 million, La Repubblica. Manchester United are preparing to launch a €75 million offer to Barcelona for midfield star Ivan Rakitic in an effort to beat Bayern Munich and Chelsea to his signing, despite the midfielder pleading to stay at the Nou Camp, Marca. Chelsea and Real Madrid have made contact to sign Roma starlet Nicola Zaniolo, the 19-year-old tipped for such a bright future that Mino Raiola has made him his #1 target to add to his list of clients, La Repubblica. Inter Milan are preparing a €75 million summer move for Romelu Lukaku after targeting a move for either the Belgian or Colombia forward Duvan Zapata of Atalanta, Corriere dello Sport. Manchester City's quadruple bid, no longer highly improbable, just improbable. The Carabao Cup is safely stored and City are 20 games away from a clean sweep and footballing nirvana. City won the Premier League by a mile last year thanks to a run of sustained sublime form. But otherwise their season lost its dramatic tension on 4th of April when City were eviscerated by Liverpool in the Champions League quarter-final first leg, shrinking the scope of their ambitions to the near-perfect league season. Fast forward 10 months and Sunday's slow-burn victory in the Carabao Cup final has set up a fascinating point of contrast, one of those moments where the background noise starts to fall away and it makes sense, for the first time, to contemplate the wildly improbable. All or not quite nothing would be a fair billing for the next 3 months, which are by comparison fretted with intrigue. City have a maximum of 20 matches left to play this season. in the course of which this team has a chance to add the 3 biggest trophies in English club football, a 4-pronged feat that still looks an impossible stretch of luck, resources and the competing claims of every other club in the scrum for honours. Most things do not happen. This one will probably not either. But then very few have ever been this close or, indeed, so close with some key factors in their favour. It was notable when Pep Guardiola was asked about the prospect of a quadruple. He did not roll his eyes and say fuck as he did 2 years ago, but instead dismissed the idea in more measured terms. Nobody manages the details like Guardiola. He knows exactly where City stand. The squad is strong. The fixtures are tough but not impossible. City have won 13 of their last 15 games. So, for now, let's just take a moment to dream. Straight away City have an advantage on timing. The fixtures come thick but not that fast. If they can finish off Schalke in 2 weeks' time and get past Swansea in the FA Cup, there is one obvious logjam to come. Between 6 April and 24th of April City would play 6 high-pressure games in 19 days, a run that goes, FA Cup semi, Champions League quarter-final, first leg, Crystal Palace away, Champions League quarter-final, second leg, Tottenham at home, Manchester United away. Get through another flurry around the Champions League semi-finals and the season ends in fairly orderly fashion. Brighton away is the final Premier League fixture on 12th of May. The FA Cup final is on 18th of May. The distant prospect of a Champions League final would round things off on the first day of June. It is an unusually well-spaced out endgame, and a favourable turn for any club caught in the familiar English slog through the spring. By comparison, Manchester United's treble-winning season 20 years ago finished on 26th of May, with United required to tie up 3 trophies in the final 10 days. That United team played 7 games in 26 days from the start of May. Should City get as far, they would end with 4 games in 28 days. Where does the advantage lie? United carried all before them in a glorious adrenal rush, with no time to look down or feel any fear. Could there be another kind of difficulty in that cold time between fixtures? There are some more positive lessons to be learned along the way. United had 7 different goal scorers in their last 7 games, the burden shared as the line approached. And it is here that City also have deeper gears. Gareth Bale under scrutiny at Real Madrid. What's going on with him? Bale has cut a frustrated figure, having lost his place in the Real Madrid team this season. Gareth Bale began a stuttering run-up, waited for Levante goalkeeper Aitor Fernandez to commit to his dive, then picked his spot and scored. The successful penalty sealed a 2-1 win for Real Madrid at Levante's Ciutat de Valencia stadium on Sunday, but the scorer was in no mood to celebrate. Instead, he fixed his gaze at his feet and threw Lucas Vazquez's hands off his shoulders, barely even acknowledging his teammates as he jogged back towards the halfway line. Santiago Solari played it down afterwards, insisting Bale was ecstatic in the dressing room, but few were buying it. Alfredo Rilano, the editor of Spanish Sports Daily AS, wrote in his column that Bale had displayed a disgraceful attitude, and there was condemnation in Marca, too. That, for me, is where the beginning of the end truly begins for him, wrote Amalio Moratala. Bale's impertinence and arrogance were not befitting of a Real Madrid player, he added. So how has it come to this? Cristiano Ronaldo's departure to Juventus was supposed to finally thrust Bale to the forefront at Real Madrid. Instead, his 6th season in the Spanish capital has been his most difficult yet. Bale hoped his status would grow this season, but he has lost his place in the Real Madrid team altogether. His goal against Levante was his 13th in all competitions, a figure swelled by a hat-trick against Kashima Antlers in the FIFA Club World Cup, but it came from the bench, and it was not the first time he has been left out of Solari's starting lineup lately. His frustration has spilled over more than once. The threat of a lengthy ban already hangs over him after he celebrated his goal in Real Madrid's recent 3-1 win over Atletico with what the authorities deemed to be a provocative gesture aimed at home supporters at the Vicente Calderón, and he seemed even angrier on Sunday. Bale feels he is being treated unfairly, both by fans who have booed him this season and the Madrid press who never hesitate to stick the knife in. But there is no denying that his performances have been below par. He has scored goals, but his numbers for chances created and dribbles are as low as they ever have been in La Liga, and there have been familiar injury problems, too. It is part of the reason why Solari now prefers Lucas Vazquez and teenager Vinicius Jr. on the flanks. They provide a level of energy and impetus Bale sometimes struggles to match, while neither have experienced the Welshman's problems with squad integration. Indeed, when it comes to Bale, the scrutiny tends to extend to his personality as well as his performances.